Let's check it out here. Sports media and the business of sports media. Dan Rayburn is with us, principal analyst at Frost & Sullivan. So everybody is so excited, right? March Madness is on. We have a lot to look forward to. We look at sports media rights and the shift that we've seen in apps, right, versus regular good old cable. What are your thoughts on some of the trends that you're seeing here?
Well, it's good to see you again, Nicole. Thanks for the question. So it's an interesting time right now in the sports arena. If you think about what's going on as far as all the licensing and negotiations that are taking place, you have a lot going on right now. So you have the NFL talking to CBS, NBC, ESPN, and Fox as it pertains to TV broadcast rights and streaming rights. Rumors are that Amazon is bidding on Thursday night football games, many that might be an exclusive. What I really like about the sports business online is how predictable it is. And by predictable, I mean that everybody likes sports, or a lot of people like sports. It's higher engagement. They view for longer periods of time. The problematic part of it is the cost of licensing this content is just getting so expensive. So we did hear Disney recently say to Wall Street that they are looking at additional sports content. However, they would only do things that make sense for shareholders. So you have that trade-off here where everybody wants to have some live sports on their platform, but at the same time, it's very expensive.
So as we see which ones are winning out, I mean, I always think of ESPN clearly for sports, but Peacock TV, ESPN, are those some that have more sports streaming rights currently?
ESPN Plus is certainly getting a lot of them. So you might have seen the big deal that they just announced with the NHL. So NHL.TV will go away next year, and that was costing anywhere between $116 to $145 for the entire season, just of NHL. ESPN Plus costs $60 for the entire year. Plus, on top of that, you get UFC, you get baseball, you get soccer. You get a lot of other additional content. To your point on Peacock TV, they have the Masters, the PGA Tour. They have the English language coverage of soccer as well. So you're going to see multiple services out there do really well. But the deals that Walt Disney is cutting as far as the ESPN Plus service as of late is getting really, really interesting.
I think the Amazon Thursday night NFL possibility is a big one. We look at regular good old cable. Is that where we're going to be watching some of this, or is it going to be more so moving into apps?
It's going to be a combination. It's going to be this hybrid. So the rumor is that Amazon is going after games exclusive where it'll only be available online. That's really a big fundamental shift of how we've seen things in the past. At the same time, the broadcasters and the pay TV operators still want to have a lot of great sports content because they know that's what keeps churn as low as possible, even though we're seeing cord cutting. So the issue is really going to be a trade-off here of what makes most sense for these companies, and also how is their model shifting. So think of Viacom CBS, which rebranded their streaming service Paramount Plus and is going international this year. They've also talked about how you're going to be able to get sports on that service as well. But then someone like HBO Max, the CEO came out, Warner Media, Jason, last week and said they have no interest in bringing sports to HBO Max at all this year. So there's some different business models going on, but the main thing here is that sports content costs to license it are getting really expensive. When you have someone like Amazon bidding on it, and in particular if it's an exclusive, it's also driving costs up.
I think it's really interesting. I mean, there are some that are just going to be the losers at least in sports, right? You just mentioned HBO Max with no interest in sports. I mean, I don't really think of Apple TV for sports. I mean, are there some others that we definitely won't see any live sports on?
Well, HBO Max is an interesting one because Warner Media owns Turner TBS. They have a lot of sports. I think the one to keep an eye on here is at the end of 2022, NFL's Sunday ticket, which is with DirecTV, that contract expires. And I'm hearing that Amazon is in the driver's seat to win that business, which would be a direct-to-consumer service where you're going to pay X number of dollars per year to get that. But that is really the one to watch because that's the most expensive contract in the market. And if Amazon gets that, that signals an even larger shift taking place in the market. And with AT&T just having divested the DirecTV business to a PE company, you know that the NFL is not going to want to renew that contract. So that's the one to watch at the end of the 2022 season.